Kawhi Leonard is one of the best basketball players of my lifetime. He's one of my personal favorite players ever, an absolute machine that produces at a high level, and I feel like recent injuries have made people forget that when he plays, he's one of the 5 to 6 best players in the world. Now the key word being when he plays, or key words I should say. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm here to talk about is about why I believe Kawhi Leonard is the weirdest Hall of Fame talent ever. But quickly before we go any further, if you're new and like basketball, I'd really appreciate if you'd like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the two best ways can help me out in the YouTube algorithm and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the 2024 NBA season. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Anyways, let's talk about the weirdest Hall of Fame talent ever. When you look at the career of Kawhi Leonard, it's clear he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. 2-time NBA champion, 2-time Finals MVP, 5-time All-Star, 3-time first team All-NBA, 2-time second team All-NBA, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 3-time first team All-Defense, 4-time second team All-Defense. At his peak, he was at 24.6 points per game, 6.6 rebounds per game, 3.5 assists per game, on 48.8, 39, 87.2 splits, and a 60.5 true shooting percentage. His 2019 playoff run, where he helped lead the Toronto Raptors to their first ever NBA title, he averaged 30.5 points per game, 9.1 rebounds per game, 3.9 assists per game on 49, 37.9, 88.4 splits, and a 61.9 true shooting percentage. His 732 points during that run is the third most ever behind Michael Jordan in 1992 at 759 and LeBron James in 2018 at 748. It's one of the best playoff runs the sport of basketball has ever seen. He has 3 top 5 MVP voting finishes, including second place in 2016 and third place in 2017. His 2016 season is one that would have won MVP in a lot of other years. He just happened to play in the same season that we saw arguably the greatest offensive season in NBA history by a single player on a team that set a record 73 wins. So he wasn't going to win it that year, even though I think he had an MVP caliber season. And in 2017, I could make the argument that he should have won it. Averaged almost 26 points per game, 6 rebounds per game, and 4 assists per game on a 61 true shooting percentage for a 61 win team. That is a resume, and those are numbers that you look at, and that is the definition of an MVP. Great stats, great efficiency, wins a lot of games. But this was the season that Russell Westbrook and James Harden went supernova. Harden led the league in assists and averaged 28 points per game, and Russell Westbrook became the first player in over 40 seasons to average a triple-double for an NBA season. And I do believe Russ was worthy of winning the award that season. I'm not saying he wasn't, but I do think that based off of what Kawhi did, that is without a doubt an MVP caliber season. And I think if he had that season a year or two later, he probably would have won MVP. He's one of 10 players in NBA history to win multiple Defensive Player of the Years. He's one of 3 players in NBA history to win Defensive Player of the Year and Finals MVP in their career. The other 2, Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon. He's also one of 3 players to win Finals MVP with 2 teams. The other 2, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and LeBron James. He's 20th all-time in career playoff steals as well as 3-pointers. So you see all this and you might be wondering what makes Kawhi so weird. He has All-Star teams, All-NBA teams, he's won titles, he's accomplished things that only Jordan, LeBron, and Kareem have, and those are 3 of the top 3 players ever, arguably. Yes, that's how math works. So, what makes Kawhi so weird? And for me, it's his career totals. Kawhi Leonard only has 12,324 career points. Here are some players with similar career point totals. Harrison Barnes at 11,796, Chris Middleton at 11,633, CJ McCollum at 12,909, Andrew Wiggins at 12,152, and Devin Booker at 12,688. Now, all of these players are good. Barnes is an NBA champion, has been a consistent, reliable, starting level forward in the NBA. Middleton is a multi-time All-Star and NBA champion, where he had big games in that finals to help win the series. McCollum is arguably the best player to never make an All-Star team. Wiggins is an All-Star and was the second best player on a team that won the title during that run. Booker is a multi-time All-Star, made an All-NBA first team, and has been at the very least top 2, but I would argue is flat out the best player on contending teams for 2 years and is one of the best young scorers we have ever seen. But Kawhi has been in the NBA longer than those guys. A year more than Barnes and Middleton, 2 years more than McCollum, 3 years more than Wiggins, and 4 years more than Booker. What also makes it weird is the career totals of guys who will be Hall of Famers, like Kawhi, who were drafted around the same time, from 2019 to 2012. Anthony Davis is at 15,841 points. Lillard is at 19,376 points. Kyrie Irving is at 15,712 points. Klay Thompson is at 14,156 points. Butler is at 13,688 points. Paul George is at 16,361 points. James Harden is at 24,693 points. Steph Curry is at 21,712 points. All of those guys were drafted around the same time that Kawhi was. In fact, to take it even further, Kawhi isn't even top 6 in career points for his draft class. Guys like Butler and Kyrie Irving and Klay Thompson, they're ahead of him and they're future Hall of Famers. But Kemba Walker, who's been really good, an all-star, but not a future Hall of Famer in my opinion. Nikola Vucevic, another all-star big, but not a future Hall of Famer. And Tobias Harris, who's been a consistent good player in my opinion, but he's not close to Kawhi, are all ahead of him in career points from that draft class. So why is Kawhi Leonard's career point total so low? Well, the simple answer is injuries and the fact that it took him a while to reach the star level player that he has become. He didn't break the 20 point per game barrier until his 5th NBA season, and he missed time both within a season and full seasons as well. He's only played 70 or more games twice in his career, which was 2016 and 2017. He missed all but 9 games in 2018. He missed the entirety of the 2022 season with an ACL tear. 64 games as a rookie, although that was the lockout season. 58 games in 2013, 66 games in 2014, 64 games in 2015, 9 games in 2018, 60 games in 2019, 57 games in 2020, 52 games in 2021, and 52 games in 2023. Let's say he plays 72 games a season from his 2nd NBA season to the present. During that stretch, he would have 16,032 points based off his career average over that time. But I took it a step further because his 2018 season was outlier below average for his standard at the time. He averaged 16.2 points per game that season. If he played the full season, he was going to put up a lot more than that. So I said he would average 25.7 points per game during that season in this hypothetical, which will line up with his numbers in normal seasons for him at the time. So he would be at 17,316 points, assuming he plays 72 games every season during that time frame. Not a full 82, 10 games missed each season, 17,316 points. Add his rookie season, and that would put him at 17,823 points, which would make sense for a player of his caliber in 12 seasons. Add 2 All-Stars, 2 All-Defense, and 2 All-NBA selections for the 2018 and 2022 seasons, where he only played 9 games and missed the entire season. He would have gotten those accolades more than likely had he played, meaning he's now a 7-time All-Star, 7-time All-NBA, and 9-time All-Defense. My point is, the time missed is the difference between Kawhi having career point totals similar to the future first ballot Hall of Famer that he is, and an average to above average starter in the NBA. Kawhi Leonard is 7,676 career points away from 20,000, and I'm going to be honest, I don't know if he's going to reach that. He's going into year 12, 13th on an NBA roster. At his current pace of games played per season since joining the LA Clippers, he only averages 54 games played per season. He would have to average at least 25 points per game for 6 more NBA seasons at that current pace. And I don't know if he's going to do that because it's hard to keep up that level of play until you're 38 years old. He averaged 23.8 points a game last season, and I think he has around 3 more years of high-level play. That may feel like a small number, but again, you have to remember, that takes him to year 15. Year 16 if he doesn't miss the 2022 season. I'll be generous and say that over those 3 years of high-level play he has left, he plays 65 games per season and averages 24 points per game, which would put him at 17,004 career points. I don't know if Kawhi is going to play more than 15 seasons in the NBA. 15 seasons in the NBA is a lot. I think LeBron has kind of made people have this weird conception of how long NBA players actually play. But 15 years, again, it's a lot. And let's say he averages like 18 points per game in his final NBA season. Because I feel like he's going to be one of those guys that's going to retire and you feel like he definitely had more years left. But he retires because he feels like it. I definitely could see him being like that 18 point per game guy that is borderline all-star good. Probably gets in as a legacy player. But I don't really see a world where by the time he's done. And he's completely lost. I think he's going to retire with a lot left in the tank potentially in terms of being a productive NBA player that can contribute to winning. But with that being said, let's say final season happens. That would potentially put him at 18,174 career points, which would be 77th all-time as of right now. But that's based off now. That number will likely be lower by the time he retires. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Paul George, Kyrie Irving, Bradley Beal, Klay Thompson, Nikola Vucevic, Jimmy Butler, although Jimmy is a wild card in his own right, but we don't have to get into that now. Tobias Harris, CJ McCollum, Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, Karl Anthony Towns, and Jaylen Brown are all guys I could realistically see reaching at least 17,000 points by the time Kawhi retires. Most of them will be flirting with or have surpassed that 20k career points. I think Giannis could be one of those, Paul George, Kyrie, just to name a few. Because I look at it this way, those guys, for the most part, minus Jalen, Booker, and Tatum, as well as Kat, are guys that already have more career points than Kawhi Leonard. All of them do. They all enter the league around the same time. They likely all will retire around the same time. So their numbers are gonna be higher in terms of career total points unless Kawhi averages like 50 points per game for the next like 5 years. So that number for where Kawhi could rank all time in terms of career points, it's gonna be really low by the time he retires. So Kawhi Leonard is currently on pace to finish as low as outside the top 90 all time by the time he retires in career points. But it's not a bad number, I would say. 18,000 points is more than respectable in the best basketball league in the world, and a number that should not be scoffed at. But it also is a number that's closer to guys like Rudy Gay, Zach Randolph, and Glenn Rice. Now, I'm not saying any of those players were bad. In fact, I would say they all were really good players in their NBA careers, but they weren't named to the top 75 team the way Kawhi was. Kawhi likely will finish with a career total that will be outside the top 100 as time goes on. By 2030, that number could be outside the top 100. And that's what makes it so weird. Kawhi is going to have really good career averages. He's going to have the accolades and success. He is a legit top 50 player ever, and I would argue higher. But he's a guy who's known for his scoring. Yes, the defense is a big part of it as well. He's a 2-time defensive player of the year. He's one of the best defensive players ever. But this is someone who is known for being a 25 plus point per game scorer at his absolute best and having historic scoring playoff runs. And he's not even going to reach 20,000 career points more than likely. Outside of Tracy McGrady and Grant Hill, I can't think of another Hall of Fame level talent who was 20 plus points per game in their prime and didn't reach a 20k point mark. And the thing is, with those two, it was about injuries taking a hit to the caliber of player that they were. When Kawhi plays, even this past season, it still feels like he's that All-NBA to superstar caliber player. Injuries aren't taking a hit to his ability. They simply are taking a hit to his career stats. I can't name another NBA player where that's been the case. Especially a great one that's as great as Kawhi. And that's why, to me, Kawhi Leonard is the weirdest Hall of Famer of all time. But that's the end of this video. If you made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, haven't already, like, subscribe, hit notification bell, I'm notified whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the two best ways you can help me out in the YouTube algorithm and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the 2024 NBA season. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Let me know what you think about Kawhi Leonard. Where does he rank all time? What do you think of his career? Do you think it could be better? Do you think he's overrated, underrated, perfectly rated? Love to hear all that in the comment section below. But with that being said, have a nice day. I'll see you guys in the next one.